Hi, hello, welcome to Ashok Consulting Services YouTube channel. So in class we have discussed about the standard lectures, right? So hope it is clear for all of us. So if you still having any questions, please give me comments or put your all your questions. I'll be trying to clarify all your doubts. Now we'll see how to create extension lecture. Before that, we are going to see what is the use of extension lecture, right? So, okay, first I will log off this. Okay, so if you see ledger type here, okay, so ledger type. So these extension ledger types are three types. Okay, so extension ledger introduced as three types. One is standard ledger, simulation ledger, another one is predictive ledger. So these are the three types of extension ledger. Repeat again. Whereas this standard ledger, so okay, so SAP introduced two types of ledger. One is standard ledger, another one is extension ledger. So standard ledger classified into two categories. One is leading ledger, another one is non-leading ledger. When it comes to extension ledger, again, extension ledger classified into three types of ledgers. One is standard ledger, and simulation ledger, and predictive ledger. Okay. So when that means when we are creating the extension ledger, we must have to select any one of the ledger type among these three ledger types. Okay. Now let's see what is the use of extension ledger. So the main use of this extension ledger to minimize the data SAP introduced in extension ledger. That means if we are following multiple ledgers, what will happen? So when we post any transaction, so the same transaction will be posted in all the ledger. So to avoid more data in SAP is introduced this extension ledger. How it will be save the data means when we are posting the data, we must have to specify or enter the extension ledger. Then only it will post the document to this extension ledger. Otherwise, it will not post to this particular extension ledger. Okay, that is the use actually. When we are creating extension ledger, we will have to specify a reference ledger or base ledger. So this reference ledger or base ledger is nothing but underlying ledger. I will explain you once we create this extension ledger. Okay, this reference ledger might be standard ledger or uh, non-leading ledger, or also can be a extension ledger. That means when we are creating extension ledger, we must have to enter the reference ledger, right? So that are base ledger, right? So those that reference or base ledger can be a leading or non-leading, and also can be another extension ledger. Okay, and then if you see this, we have some drawbacks also. So the main drawback is that extension ledger will not be integrated to asset accounting. Extension ledger will not be maintained their own physical layer automatically, because it will be derived from the base ledger itself. Okay, without any delay, let's go and create the extension ledger. Okay, I'm logging in. Okay, enter that. Go. Okay, now we'll create an extension ledger. So as per our design, okay, so here I am showing some of the ledger in red. Okay, so here I can see I mentioned three ledgers in red, and here is one red, and I mentioned common for all. That means you people have to use the same ledger. You don't need to create anything. You will have to create only two ledgers, that is here. So I mentioned here you can create your own. Wherever I mentioned you can create your own, only those ledgers you will have to create. Rest you will have to use whatever ledgers I have created. Okay, now we'll create extension ledger as x2. Okay, Now we'll click on new entries. X2. We'll copy the description from here. This will be used for internal reporting. And as I mentioned this earlier, leading checkbox you're not going to select as it is a non-leading ledger, okay, or extension ledger, right? Then here we have to select we are extension ledger because we are going to create extension ledger. Okay, here it should be standard ledger or simulation ledger or production ledger also, but we'll keep this one is standard ledger because for predictive ledger we'll create some other ledgers. Okay, and here I will have to put some underlying ledger. When I say underlying ledger, so here I explained you, right? So underlying ledger is nothing but reference ledger or base ledger, and also whether it can be a leading or non-leading or another extension ledger also. So here I can enter leading ledger or non-leading ledger, and also I can enter another extension ledger. Okay, so now I am creating this extension ledger on top of leading ledger. So I'm just enter leading ledger only. So leading ledger is 0L. Okay, and our legal valuation is this one only. So click on. So okay, go back and again coming back to okay, and then sorry, I have to select our X2 ledger, and we'll see the company code whether it's automatically assigned as we have created this extension ledger on top of 0L, right? So just click on company code settings. Okay, so here see all the company codes are by default selected. So my company code is X100C. All these company codes by default selected. Okay, so we no need to assign it here again and again. So we'll just come back to ledger and we'll create. Okay, so what is next? So here this ledger you can create your own, but when you are practicing you should not create these three red color. Okay, whatever I am creating, this might be a different according to your setup, but these two you can use a different ledgers, but these four whatever I'm highlighting in red color, those you have to use as it is. Okay, now we'll create X3. X3 and internal reporting on top of X1. That means I'm creating this extension ledger on top of non-leading ledger. Okay. So here I have to select extension ledger. Save. So we created this X3 extension ledger on top of X1. That means non-leading ledger. So all the company codes will not be assigned here. Let us check. Why? Okay, got it. Ideally it should not come, but why it is coming, I will tell you now. So if you observe here, this X3 extension ledger is created on top of as a base of X1 ledger. But this X1 ledger we have already created and assigned the company codes for this extension ledger, right? This one, X1 ledger, right? So answer reason, this X3 ledger is reading from X1 and automatically bringing all the company codes here automatically. You don't need to do anything. Okay, this is also done. And then we'll go to OC. OC also common for all. So these three ledgers, where I am also not going to follow. I will have to follow as it is. Okay. Go to ledger. Okay. Then OC. We'll have to look for OC, management accounting. So yeah, also by default assigned as because we have created here. Okay, on top of leading ledger, and also we see cost center budgeting and commitment OE. So this also created on top of predictive ledger, extension ledger, predictive ledger. So this extension ledger we have selected, but this will be used for predictive ledger purpose. So already, so I don't need to do any changes here. Select as it is. Save. Okay, let's check all the company codes are assigned here or not. Check. X100. See, my all company codes are assigned here for OE. Okay, and then again we'll go to ledger. So now we have to create X4. This is for a simulation ledger. Okay, auto click trace X4. The X4 and ledger name will be simulation ledger on top of leading ledger. So here I have to select extension ledger, and it is a simulation ledger, right? So we'll have to select this yes simulation ledger. Okay, then underlying ledger, or I'm giving leading ledger as it is common for all. So I'm putting 0L. Okay. Okay. Then uh, let's check company codes are assigned or not. Yes, assigned. Check our company codes. See, automatically coming. We'll go to ledger, create a ledger also as per our Excel. This one you can create as per our wish. You can also create. So X file simulation ledger on top of X1. Creating one more simulation lecture. X1, extension lecture, simulation lecture, X1. So for this also, all the company codes will be assigned. Our three company codes will be assigned automatically from the as a base. We have already defined all the company codes are assigned codes for this X1. So answer reason, if you select check this, all our company codes. Okay. So we have created all the this here. Okay. So just with this, we have completed all the settings of extension ledgers and standard ledgers. So this will be helpful for everybody. So in interview, they might ask how you are creating the standard ledgers and extension ledgers. You can say standard ledgers are two types. Whether one is leading ledger, another one is non-leading ledger. So leading ledger we are not going to create by default. It will be created by the SAP itself. We'll just use our we will just use for posting for real-time purposes. Okay. And then if you say non-leading ledger, that it will be used for reporting purpose, we have to create under the standard ledger itself. When it comes to extension ledger, okay. Extension ledger again classifies into three types. One is standard ledger and simulation ledger and predictive ledger. Okay. So this extension ledger will be created as a base of underlying ledger. Underlying ledger is nothing but a reference ledger or a base ledger. Okay. When we are creating extension ledger, we'll have to specify what type of ledger type whether it pertains to. So for example, here you can see I have entered X4 as a simulation ledger. So for example, so as I mentioned, extension ledger three types. Okay. Whether it could be standard ledger or simulation ledger or predictive ledger. So I have created a simulation ledger. This simulation ledger will be used for foreign currency postings purpose. Okay, that will discuss when we are working on foreign currency revaluation process. We'll explain you more in detail about that. But for now, this is enough. So that's why we have entered here. If you see here, I have selected extension ledger, and here when we are creating simulation ledger, we must have to select simulation ledger, or when we are creating a predictive ledger, we'll have to select this predictive ledger. Okay, and then it comes to underlying ledger. So here I'm telling system that so this simulation ledger will have to create under X1 ledger. So if the X1 ledger already created and assigned all the company codes for this X1 ledger, so for in the same way, this X5 ledger will read from here and assigned automatically for this ledger also. So that's it for now, friends. So by now we have completed this ledger concept configuration. In next class, we are going to see ledger group and account principles definition also. Mm. It's very important topic and very sensitive topic. Please follow as per my ledger design and don't create whatever I am highlighted in a red color. Okay. Only you will have to create wherever I mentioned, create your own. Okay. So that's it for today, friends. If you have any questions further, just ping me in a WhatsApp group or ping me, put your comments in YouTube channel also. I will try to clarify all your doubts. Okay. Thank you very much. Signing off.